Help me reach 3,000 subscribers. Hit like and leave a comment. I really do read them all. She texted me a link at 9:12 a.m. on a Tuesday. A designer purse, the kind that costs more than my monthly truck payment. No greeting, just the link and a heart emoji. I was at the dining table with my work laptop open, spreadsheet on the screen, coffee going cold. I answered the way any adult with a mortgage would. Can't do that, I typed. Not in our budget. She replied in seconds. Then what kind of man are you? It's just a purse. This is honestly funny. I stared at it long enough for the phone to dim. What kind of man are you? That line kept circling my head like a mosquito you can't quite swat. I make a modest living as a maintenance supervisor for a logistics company. Not glamorous. Pays the bills. I'm steady. She knew that when she married me. If I'd known where this was headed, I'd have set the rules on day one instead of assuming we were on the same team. I called out to her in the bedroom. You see the city tax bill? It's due Friday. From the closet, rustling. You're the money guy, Evan. Handle it. I do handle it, I said. That's why the purse is a no. She walked out in one of those breezy tops with a tie at the front, phone in hand. A real husband doesn't nickel and dime his wife. A real partner doesn't laugh at the person paying for the roof, I answered. There's a difference. Her mouth twitched like I'd told a boring joke. So dramatic. Dramatic. Right. That was the day I stopped pretending this was a misunderstanding. That night I sat at the island with a legal pad and drew 2 columns. Bills in one, extras in the other. When she walked in from yoga, she dropped the mat by the door and barely looked up. What now? She asked, voice flat. New system, I told her. We're moving to separate discretionary budgets. I'll keep covering the house, utilities, insurance. You get a monthly personal fund, same as I do. Want a bag? You save for it. Want nails twice a week? Same rule. She laughed through her nose. You're limiting me? I'm limiting access to me, I replied. Not a punishment. A boundary. The old setup clearly wasn't working. You're being absurd, she fired back. I don't even work right now. How am I supposed to save for anything? Start working, I said. Or scale wants to match needs. I'm done feeling like an ATM with shoes. Her eyes flashed, but she went for ridicule instead of anger. Your little salary, and you talk like a CEO. Adorable. I slid the legal pad to her. Numbers don't care how cute you think I am. She scanned it, then tossed it back. You're trying to control me. Wrong word, I said. I'm controlling my contribution. Big difference. She tapped the counter with acrylic nails. We promised a date night Friday. Don't think you get to cancel and act righteous. We'll do burgers at the place on Maple. Cheap, easy, I said. If that's beneath you, I'll go alone and bring you back fries. You're not serious. Dead serious. I stood and stacked the mail. Also, I'm cutting the auto refill for your boutique subscription. If you want packages, put them on your new card. What new card? She sounded offended, like I'd taken an heirloom. The debit on your personal account. I set it up today. It has enough for reasonable stuff until you find work. You did that without asking me. I did the responsible thing without asking for permission, I said. You're welcome. She tilted her head, assessing. You're overreacting to one purse. Not one purse, I answered. To a pattern. Her mouth flattened. If you start acting cheap in front of my friends on Saturday, I swear. There's no Saturday brunch, I cut in. I canceled. Told them I'm working on the house. You cancel my plans? Our plans, I corrected, picking up my keys. But sure, take the day. Do something that doesn't cost money. Wow, she said, slow and cutting. Big man. I nodded. Big enough to cover a house. Not stupid enough to fund disrespect. The look she gave me said I'd just opened a door I wouldn't be able to close. Good. Some doors need closing. Saturday still happened. Just not the way she wanted. We ended up at Gabe and Kara's backyard cookout. It was a neighborhood thing. Folding tables, coolers, kids tearing around with juice pouches. I was at the grill with Gabe, flipping burgers, trying to act like a normal husband on a normal weekend. Marissa floated around like a campaign staffer, loud laughs, big gestures, making sure everyone knew she was the star of whatever this was. Kara sidled up to her near the patio. He didn't get you the bag? She asked in a low voice that carried anyway. Marissa didn't lower hers. He can't afford it, his words. I guess I should be grateful for lawn chairs. Gabe gave me a side eye. That about you? Apparently, I said, flipping a burger I'd already flipped. Kara called over. Evan, If you need recommendations for side gigs, Brent's always hiring drivers. Marissa snickered. Careful, he might take it. He loves being busy earning, whatever that is. I set the spatula down. Nope. I walked to the patio, wiped my hands on a towel, and addressed the group like a foreman shutting down a job site. New house rule. My income and her wish list are not entertainment topics. You want to talk money, we do it privately. Right now, I'm going to finish the food, eat, and head out. Kara blinked. We were just kidding. I'm not, I said, looking at Marissa. Keep doing this. I leave. From here, from rooms, from the house. Your move. She rolled her eyes and sipped her drink. Everyone, he's sensitive today. We can't joke. Correct, I answered. We can't joke at the expense of respect. Gabe cleared his throat. Burgers are done. I handed him the tongs. Take over. On the way to the gate, Marissa grabbed my elbow. You're making me look bad. You did that yourself, I told her. I'm not a prop. Stop dramatizing, she said softly. Come back. Eat. Smile. We'll talk later. Text me when you're ready to talk like a partner, I said, and left through the side yard. At home, I logged into the bank and removed my credit card from the shared wallet she uses for her shopping apps. Then I sent her a message. New financial policy goes live today. Your personal account is loaded for the month. When it's gone, it's gone. Need more? Work. An hour later she arrived, grocery bag in hand. She set it on the island like a peace offering. I made your favorite. Baked chicken. That spice you like. Thanks, I said. Appreciate it. She plated it, took the chair next to me instead of across. I'm sorry about Kara. She's nosy. I shouldn't have joked. It wasn't fair. I nodded. Good. We agree. So dinner. And we reset? She asked, testing the water. We can reset the tone, I said. Not the rules. She breathed out through her nose. You love your rules. They keep storms off the roof, I replied. Fine, she said lightly. But in exchange, I need my own card on your account. Emergencies. No, I said. You have your account. Real emergencies, health, car. I'll handle like always. Shopping isn't an emergency. She twisted her fork. You're making me feel like a child. You've been acting like one, I answered. This is the adult fix. She went quiet, then nodded like she was withdrawing only to plan a future attack. The chicken was good. The silence tasted better. Later that night, she pressed close on the couch, head on my shoulder. You know I appreciate you, right? I'll believe it when I see it, I said, eyes on the muted TV. She went still, then turned her focus to the screen like I'd become uninteresting. We both knew this wasn't over. Work is loud, not with noise, though I get plenty of that from compressors and forklifts, but with problems that beg to be solved. That Monday, my boss, Dan, pulled me into his office. He's a practical guy, the kind who doesn't waste breath. He gestured at a chair, then slid a paper across the desk. Regional's expanding. They want U.S. facilities lead for both sites, he said. It's a raise. A real one. I scanned the numbers. Respectable. Not lottery money. Enough to breathe easier. I can do it, I told him. I know, he said. You've been doing the job for a year without the title. I called Marissa on my break. It felt right to let her know first. She picked up on the second ring. What? Short, clipped. Promotion, I said. More responsibility. Good bump. There was a pause. Then a laugh that wasn't joy. Lucky you. I was already thinking about ending this. Silence on my end. Not shock. Confirmation. Her tone carried no heat, just a test balloon to see how big it could get before it popped. I answered calm. Thinking? Then don't cancel your plans. She gave another laugh, bright and fake. Relax. It was a joke. Not to me, I said. See you tonight. I hung up. Luis from inventory stuck his head into the break room. Dude, you look like you just fired someone. In a way, I said, tossing my cup. Time to put my foot down at home. Back at my desk, I sent 3 messages. First, to a locksmith I'd used for the warehouse. Second, to the bank to finalize the account separation I'd started. Third, to a storage place near the house. At lunch, I swung by the hardware store for 2 heavy-duty totes and a set of moving blankets. Numbers, logistics, action, that's my language. I'm not good at speeches. I'm good at making a decision and letting the world adjust. On the way home, I called Gabe. You home? Yeah, why? I need a witness, I said. He didn't ask why. I'll swing by. At the house, I set the totes in the living room and opened the closet. I packed with the precision I use for toolkits. Clothes, shoes, makeup case, chargers, the hairdryer she said was essential. I didn't throw anything. I didn't break anything. I left the framed wedding photo on the shelf. Not a symbol, just a fact from a different life. Gabe walked in through the side door. "You're serious?" "Yep," I said. "You sure about this?" She told me she was already thinking about leaving. I said, "I'm giving her the dignity of following through." He watched me roll a suitcase to the door. "She'll say it was a joke." "She can joke to the Uber driver." He lifted a brow. "Cold. Clean," I corrected. We stacked the suitcases by the front door. I put her day bag on top, the one she likes for brunches. The locksmith texted he was 10 minutes out. I texted Marissa, "Your things are ready by the door. We'll talk when you arrive." No emojis. No exclamation points. Gabe stood with his hands in his pockets. "You want me here?" "I want someone who heard the line," I said. "So I won't question my memory later." The locksmith arrived, quick and professional. He changed the top lock, left the bottom untouched so she could enter tonight and see her bags. Tomorrow the bottom would go too. Marissa showed up at 7. She saw the luggage before she saw us. She lifted a hand to her mouth, then dropped it like she realized the gesture gave too much away. "You're insane," she said, voice high and bright. "This is a prank." "No prank," I answered. "You said you were already thinking of leaving. I'm helping with the heavy lifting." "That was a joke," she repeated, laugh sharp. "I was teasing. You're punishing me because you're insecure." Gabe stepped forward. "I heard the call," he said. "She said it." She spun on him. "This is between us." "Exactly," I said. "So no performances." She put on a smile that belonged on reality TV. "Babe, I'm sorry. I took it too far. Congratulations on the promotion. Let's start over. I'll make tacos. We'll pour a little wine. Celebrate." "Not tonight," I said. "Tonight we're honest." She dropped the smile. "You're humiliating me. Over nothing. It's not nothing to disrespect your husband for years and then joke about dumping him the morning he gets a win," I replied. "You've made your standards clear. Money first. The rest, optional." She stepped closer, eyes big. I was frustrated. "You never buy me anything nice." I wanted to feel spoiled. "I pay for everything you use every day," I said. "That's spoiling. You just don't count it because you think it's my job." She reached for my arm. "Don't do this. I'll get a job. I swear. I'll fix it." "That would have meant something a year ago," I said. "Now it's a tactic, not a change." Her face sharpened. "You're the worst husband I've ever heard of. You barely make anything. And the second you finally catch a break, you throw me out." "Who does that?" I kept my tone even. "Someone who sees the truth. You needed money in this marriage, not a man. I already carried the house, the car, the bills. It was never enough. Tonight you showed me your real face." I finally believed myself. She stared at the bags. "Where am I supposed to go?" "Your sister has a couch." "Or a friend," I said. "I'll cover this month's rent wherever you land. After that, it's on you. Tomorrow morning I'm filing. I'm keeping the house. I bought it before we met. You keep the first car. Title's in the kitchen drawer. I signed it over." "You can't do this to me." "I already did," I said. "You're cruel," she whispered. "No," I said. "I'm done." She looked past me at Gabe. "You see how he treats me?" Gabe didn't flinch. "I see a man who got tired." She yanked a suitcase upright until the handle clicked. "Fine. I'm leaving. You'll regret it." "Doubt it," I said. When the door shut, the room didn't feel bigger. It felt accurate. The locksmith came back the next morning and finished the bottom lock. At sunrise, I printed forms and took them to the county building. No drama. No speeches. I signed where they told me, paid the fee, and walked out lighter. Then I called Dan. "I'm all in on the new role," I told him. "Effective now." "Good," he said. "We start mapping both sites today." I spent the morning at the East Warehouse, in a steel stairwell with a radio clipped to my belt, pointing at a mess of conduit and loose cable. I assigned tasks and didn't think about purses, brunches, or who might text me next. Marissa did, of course. 3 messages by noon. "Can we talk?" "I'm sorry. You're throwing away a marriage because of a stupid line." I wrote back. "I'm ending a pattern because of a clear line." At lunch, Kara called me. "You okay?" she asked, tentative, as if poking a bruise. "I'm fine," I said. "She's freaking out," Kara said. "She said you took everything." "I took responsibility for what's mine," I replied. And the house I paid for before we even met. She'll be okay. She's resourceful when it benefits her. You sure this is what you want? Kara's voice had a flavor of curiosity that wasn't kind. It's what I respect, I said, and ended the call. That evening, Marissa tried a second soft approach. She showed up in a fitted dress and heels I'd definitely bought, hair done like she was going to an event. "Let me in," she said through the doorbell camera. "I just want to talk." I opened the door, but didn't step aside. "Talk." She smiled. "You look good. This new role suits you. I'm proud of you." "Thanks. I was a mess. I said awful things. I should have been your cheerleader," she said, reaching up to touch my shirt collar like we were still us. I took a half step back. "Don't do that." "I can change," she said quickly. "I'll get a job. I'll pick up part-time right away. We'll build a plan. I'll cook, clean, whatever you need. I'll be the wife you deserve. Just don't end this." "Marissa," I said, "do you even hear yourself? Cook, clean, whatever you need? A week ago, you were measuring my worth in handbags. Today you're offering chores like a coupon book. That's not devotion. It's bargaining." Tears appeared. Maybe they were real. Maybe they were a tactic. I'm not a detective. I'm a man who knows when a deal is bad. She went from pleading to anger in a heartbeat. "Fine. Be single. See how fun that is when you come home to silence." "I like silence," I said. "It doesn't mock me." She sucked in a breath. "I'll fight you for the house. Do what you think is right," I said. "But I'm not standing in front of a judge to perform. I bought this place before we met. The equity is mine. You can have the sedan and what's in your account. If you want more peace than that, take it. I'm not chasing you. You're heartless." "I'm consistent," I said. "It just looks like heartlessness when you're used to me swallowing things." She searched my face for a crack and found none. "I hope she's worth it," she shot back. "There's no she," I said. "There's just me. That's enough." She left 2 minutes later, heels loud on the concrete. That sound didn't make me feel powerful. It made me feel finished. We ran the safety audit that week with Dan shadowing. It kept me busy. That was the point. In the middle of checking emergency lights, my phone buzzed with a text from Marissa, a photo of the purse she'd wanted, this time with a caption. "You could afford it now." I answered, "I can afford peace. I choose that." The following Saturday, I took a box of her remaining stuff to her sister's place. Her brother-in-law, Trent, opened the door. He's a solid guy, the kind who measures his words. "She's inside," he said. "You want to come in?" "No," I said. "Just dropping this." He looked at the box. "She said you were cruel." "That's one version. She also said she told you she was thinking of leaving the day you got your promotion," he added carefully. "That true?" "It is." He nodded. "Then you're not cruel." Marissa appeared behind him, dressed down for once, hoodie and leggings. "You're really sticking with this?" "Yes." "You won't even try counseling?" "I did counseling for 2 years without a therapist," I said. "It's called listening and adjusting." "You called it boring." She crossed her arms. "You could have just bought the purse." I set the box on the step. "It wasn't about the purse, Marissa. It was about the price of my respect." She blew air out of her cheeks. "So this is it? This is it? Then give me time to move my name off everything. Don't change passwords on me like I'm a thief." "Already did the accounts. You have your own now. Utilities are mine. You're not on them," I replied. "The sedan title is under your name alone. Insurance transferred." I kept it clean. She blinked. "You planned everything." "No," I said. "I planned for myself. You were included when you wanted to be." I left her there on the porch with Trent standing between us like a referee who'd shown both players the exit. Back home, I pulled the wedding photo from the shelf and set it in a drawer. Not rage. Organization. I took the spare keys she used to keep in a ceramic bowl and moved the bowl to the garage. I took down a framed print she liked, a saying about manifesting abundance, and replaced it with a simple sketch of a mountain. Not a metaphor. I just liked it more. On Monday, HR sent my new badge. Dan clapped my shoulder. "You good?" he asked. "Better than good," I said. "Straight." He nodded. "That's the word." A few days later, Kara saw me at the grocery store. She hovered near the end of the aisle, pretending to compare pasta. "You look different," she said. "Calmer." "I am." "She's been rough," Kara admitted. "Saying things. You know how she gets." "I do," I said. "People usually are loudest when they lose power." "You're not even angry." I was, I said. "Now I'm done." Kara fiddled with her cart handle. "I'm sorry for my part. You were a mirror, I answered. You helped me see it out loud. Thanks. She blinked, surprised I wasn't throwing blame, and drifted away. That was the last time we spoke more than 2 words. The last scene in this story is simple. No shouting, no big speeches, no slammed doors. It's a Thursday night, 2 weeks after the bags by the door. I'm at my kitchen table, my table now without footnotes, reviewing a project plan. My phone vibrates with one more message from Marissa. I miss our mornings. Sorry about everything. If you ever change your mind. I typed, erased, typed again, then settled on a single line. I won't. I turned the phone face down and went back to work. The world didn't end. Nothing dramatic happened. I poured a glass of water, checked the locks, and slept in my own bed without anyone measuring me against a shopping cart. In the morning, I went to the east side early and walked the lines before anyone else arrived. The lights came on as they should. The alarms tested clean. Systems held. That's all I ever wanted, systems that hold. A year later, I'm different in ways that don't need much explaining. The promotion turned permanent, then got bigger. I moved debt-free into a small craftsman just outside town with a yard and a detached garage I turned into a workshop. On Saturdays, I restore old tools and drink coffee that actually gets finished hot. My truck's old but paid off, and that's a number that never laughs at me. I see my friends more. Real friends. Gabe comes by with his kids, and we set up a folding table in the driveway and build little birdhouses. I have a woman in my life now, June. She's a nurse. She asks how my day went and listens to the answer. She buys her own shoes, and I don't keep score because there's nothing to track when both people spend wisely on the one thing that matters. Marissa? I hear she moved into an apartment near her sister and picked up work at a salon. She texted twice about cookware she forgot, then stopped when I didn't engage. I don't wish her badly. I just don't wish for us. She built a system where my value had a price tag. I walked out and took my price tag with me. People think leaving has to be spectacular. You can leave quietly, with a single sentence and a packed set of bags by the door. You don't need to win. You just need to stop losing. That night, she looked at the